Hey guys, it's Sasha. Tesla stock is getting crushed this morning. It was down 7% when pre-market trading opened, recovering slightly to only being 5% down as I'm recording this video. And as with anything about Tesla, it is very difficult to understand what is actually going on. Why is the stock down, and should it be down? Will it go down further? Is the company massively undervalued or ridiculously overvalued? This weekend, the noise around Tesla got insane. In one corner, you have the Tesla Q, who felt like it was Christmas. First, Tesla had an AI day that had 3 guys wheel out a robot that showcased the ability to wave to a crowd. Then Tesla posted disappointing Q3 delivery numbers yesterday, and the Tesla haters went to town. There is no demand. Tesla made less cars in the last 6 months than the previous 6 months. Nobody wants to buy expensive cars when the world is in a financial crisis, blah 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 blah. Then in the other corner we have the Tesla hyperbulls. Tesla has built up a bit of a cult following, which means there is a growing group of fanboys for whom Tesla can do no wrong. Elon Musk is a god, Tesla as a company is perfect in every single way, and anyone who says otherwise is a complete idiot. I don't fall, unfortunately, into either camp, and in this video I'm going to explain exactly what happened over the weekend and what the implications are. If you want to see Tesla haters telling me that I am delusional, and Tesla fanboys telling me that I don't get the company because it's the future, bro, at the same exact time, feel free to peruse the comment section for some good laughs. So let's start with the delivery numbers that came out yesterday. And in Q3, Tesla produced 365,923 cars, but delivered only 343,830 cars. And normally, those two numbers are a lot closer together. Tesla has a waiting list for cars, and every car being manufactured is a paid-for order. So every car coming out of a factory is immediately sold as soon as it gets to the customer. And suddenly, this quarter, for the first time, we have a discrepancy. Tesla delivered 22,000 less cars than they produced. And then you go onto the Tesla website and you go and look at the wait times to try to understand what's happening. And only a few months ago, you had to wait several months, sometimes over a year, when ordering a new Tesla. Most popular models meant waiting at least 4 to 6 months or longer. But now, the Model 3 in the US will be delivered from October to December, and we are in October. Model 3 Performance estimated delivery October to November, so literally just a few weeks away. Model Y Long Range has delivery estimate of December to April. You could have yours in as little as 2 months, and Model Y Performance orders are also showing October to November. And when you check other countries, the picture is roughly the same. Germany and the UK, for example, have wait times of about 2 months, and in China you can get your Model Y in 1 to 4 weeks. So the natural question is, has demand fallen off a cliff? Are there only so many people prepared to spend $60,000 on a brand new car? Do we have a problem with the financial crash, meaning that people are more careful with spending their money, and a cost of living crisis means that less people are in the market to buy an expensive new car? And on the surface, this is a valid argument because the entire Tesla valuation thesis is built on scaling production to 20 million cars by 2030, or whatever the goal is, depending on who you listen to. And if you are hitting a demand wall at 1.4 million cars a year, which is the current run rate, you could say there is a big problem. Tesla anticipated this reaction from investors to the numbers that they published and wrote a paragraph to explain the drop in deliveries. Historically, our delivery volumes have skewed towards the end of each quarter due to regional batch building of cars. So every quarter up until Q3, Tesla would plan it out so that the cars manufactured in Shanghai, for example, would spend the first month and a half making cars for Europe and other faraway markets. Those cars would then be loaded onto ships so that they can be delivered to the customer before the quarter ends. And at the end of the quarter, Giga Shanghai would then make cars for the Chinese market only. And this meant that deliveries happened in waves, but all the cars manufactured during the quarter would be sold during the quarter to prop up those quarterly numbers to make them look better. As our production volumes continue to grow, it is becoming increasingly challenging to secure vehicle transportation capacity, and at a reasonable cost during these peak logistics weeks. And this is probably true to a degree. Tesla is making cars at a growing scale. Both the production and delivery numbers in this Q3 report are a record for Tesla. It's important to remember that. However, it is also true that Tesla now has a German factory that a few days ago reached production rates of 2,000 cars a week. And they also have a new Texas factory, which means distribution of cars around the United States is a bit better than when they only had Fremont. And Tesla still makes a lot less cars than many of the world's largest manufacturers, who continue shipping their cars in much greater quantities. And the cost of shipping has actually been gradually coming down all the way through this year after peaking last year, and the drops are very significant. And if Tesla wants to be making 2 times, 3 times, 10 times, 20 times, I don't know, more cars than they currently do, sorting out shipping is not going to get any easier. This isn't some kind of temporary blip. So I don't think this sentence really helps Tesla's explanation, because it doesn't hold much water, it doesn't really go with the rest of what they're saying, and it casts a shadow on the other parts of this paragraph that sound way more plausible. Because straight after, Tesla then go back to the original point they were making, saying, in Q3, we began transitioning to a more even regional mix of vehicle builds each week that led to an increase in cars in transit at the end of the quarter. These cars have been ordered and will be delivered to customers upon arrival at their destination. Now, this does make sense practically. If you stop trying to max the numbers for each quarter and start distributing production more evenly across your factories, it makes way more sense commercially. It is also probably cheaper, which was going to save on costs. The issue is that whenever you switch to doing it, you will naturally have one quarter where the switch is happening, where the numbers will drop relative to the previous quarters, and this quarter just happens to be that quarter. It isn't clear from this statement exactly where these cars in transit are though, because 22,000 cars is a lot. It is well over a week of production across all Tesla factories, maybe around 9 to 10 days worth. The last ship that apparently came to Europe in Q3 turned up on the 22nd of September, 8 days before the end of the quarter. So all the deliveries to Europe should have really pretty much been sold during the quarter, but then something different started happening in the last few days. 2 ships have departed the Luchao port just in the last couple of days, taking Tesla cars to Europe. And normally these shipments start a lot later in the quarter once they've had enough time to produce enough cars during the quarter in Shanghai to fill those ships. So Tesla's explanation does make a lot of sense when you consider that. The drop in wait times to more like 1 to 3 months is important though, and something to keep an eye on. But Tesla still have an active queue, and every car produced is sold before production starts. You can't just go and buy a car that is readily available right there that is brand new, except for cancelled orders. And queues don't work linearly. The moment wait times drop to a month or 2, the level of interest in buying increases exponentially, because not many people want to place an order for a new car and then wait a year to get it. This is why some of the other electric car manufacturers have been really benefiting from Tesla queues being so long. Some people might need the car right now. In any case, you don't want to sit there waiting for months upon months, just not knowing exactly when they're going to be delivered with no certainty. So while a drop in wait times is potentially concerning, something to keep an eye on, it is also the case that demand increases significantly with lower wait times. And you can see that wait times in China are the lowest, 1 to 4 weeks, because Giga Shanghai produces the most cars and Tesla no longer stagger production between European and Chinese deliveries. So if you're in China, you can get your cars reasonably quickly. US wait times are only 1 to 2 months because there are now 2 factories in the US. But wait times in Europe are still at least around 3 to 4 months, which is longer than the time needed to produce and deliver cars. So the demand is still very much there for now. In any case, these record production and delivery numbers will almost certainly mean huge P&L numbers when the results come out on the 19th of October. As always, I'll be covering those results live on my channel, so if you want to get live commentary, live analysis of all the numbers as they come out, live coverage of the earnings call, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. Then on Friday, Tesla held their AI Day, and this polarized opinion like nothing else. Now, the primary purpose of the AI Day is to be a recruiting event. Tesla want to hire the smartest and best engineers to come and work for them, and so naturally they showcase some cutting-edge work going on at Tesla, and the latest hot project is the Tesla bot. Now, Tesla has only been running this project for around a year, and apparently only started physically making the robot prototypes in the last few months. They said that these are the very first prototypes that they've got. The first robot walked onto the stage, just about, and made a few moves that vaguely resembled something akin to dancing. The second robot had to be pushed onto the stage by 3 Tesla employees so it could do a wave to the crowd. And here's the thing, the potential for the future here could be extremely exciting. If these robots see the light of day and start replacing manual labor to improve production, to improve, to let people not have to do that kind of work, the benefit to all of our lives is going to be great. The benefits to the quality of people's lives, to the ability for people to be able to do better work will be phenomenal. But the AI required to have a fully functioning robot that will be able to do all of these things operating in a 3D space with other humans with extremely complex movements compared to driving wheels or applying the brakes is orders of magnitude more complex than solving FSD. And Tesla has only just started. They've only been working on this project for several months. They've been working on FSD for coming up to a decade. And even Elon Musk on stage said that he expects the robot will be mass produced and sold to customers in 3 to 5 years. And all the fanboys went wild, they were jumping up and down with glee, but as an investor, this to me is a hugely speculative bet that is currently based on zero evidence other than don't bet against Elon. It could work, but it could also be a giant money drain and distraction that never materializes. In fact, this is exactly the sort of bet based on pure hype and unfounded speculation with very little direct evidence that Tesla fans like to point out about other companies, and investors in those other companies who are investing based on hopium. There is an old Russian saying that it is far easier to spot a speck of dust in someone else's eye than in your own. And remember the conversion from Elon time to real time, because Elon's 2 weeks is equivalent to maybe sometime next year if everything goes well, and Elon's next year is equivalent to 4 to 5 years time in the real world. So when Elon himself says 3 to 5 years, this is going to be a very long wait, if it happens. Because for all of Elon's amazing achievements, and he has done many things that people said would be impossible, sticking to timelines and promises is not always a big strength, because he did say that FSD would be ready and publicly available this year back in 2016. And remember that magic snake charger that automatically plugs into your car? Well, anyway, it's definitely a lot easier to make that than a humanoid robot. So the stock market reacted very negatively to these updates over the weekend, and Tesla stock is now down massively in pre-market trading on top of the losses that they've already pocketed over the last few weeks as the market has been crashing. The good news is that the company is ramping production to a level that is going to mean some serious P&L numbers in the next few quarters. As I shared in the Discord over the weekend, after the recent upgrades, Shanghai should be on course for around 240,000 plus cars in Q4, Fremont should be producing 150,000, Berlin and Austin should hit 50,000 between them, which gives a total of 440,000 cars produced. If you want to join my Discord to chat live with me and the community outside of the YouTube comments, the link to my Patreon is in the description. Now, if Berlin and Austin ramp faster, which is possible, or Shanghai starts producing even faster than they already are after the 2 big production line improvements, that could push this number even higher towards the 500,000 mark. But realistically, even making 440,000 cars in a quarter is already going to absolutely smash financial performance numbers. So as an investor, I am loving every minute of the stock market overall crashing, and Tesla specifically being hugely in the red. I am planning to load up on Tesla and other stocks as much as I possibly can over the next few months, while everyone's panicking, while the sales are on. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.